Everyone is busy now. Ask anyone how they're doing, and the answer is never fine. It's flat out, which is interesting because if busyness were a reliable path to wealth, airports would be full of millionaires in tracksuits. People are working longer hours, answering more messages, sitting in more meetings than ever before, and yet somehow very few are getting meaningfully ahead. So maybe busy is not the flex we think it is. If effort alone created wealth, why are the hardest workers usually the most stretched? David, Andrew?
I'm so busy, but I'm going to answer this question because a lot of people use it as an excuse. It's easy to be busy, you're working hard, maybe you got kids, got to look after them, so you just don't have any time to put into things like wealth building. And hey, we've got the short-term focus where we're in it now and we've got a bit of money, we might as well spend it. So unfortunately, that short-termism is very, very dangerous and really hurts with wealth building. So you're not going to get rich by being busy. You get distracted by being busy.
Yeah, and the real world doesn't reward effort. It rewards results and outcomes from actions that were successful. It's pretty easy to look at 1,000 property listings, and if you spend a lot of time on those 1,000 property listings, that's great. You might learn a lot about property. If you don't make any offers, and if you don't make any good offers and buy something, you're not going to get any rewards above learning.
Just busy being busy. I know, just looking at stuff there, looking, thinking. Lots of people with good intentions, doesn't work out.
24 hours in a day, what part of your day moves the needle?
The day before when you plan ahead. You look at your calendar, move things around in the order of priority. And the most important part of my day, if I'm planning for the next day, is deciding what not to do. There's always more things that need to be done than there is time, and shifting those to other people or to later dates, or to figure out how instead of an hour block, you can do that in 5 minutes. That's the trick to getting more done.
I think that's an unusual answer. Do you agree with it?
Yeah, it is, because I like the day and in the zone when so many people have gone or have switched off and mentally exit. I love that little zone between 5 and 7, not just because the Heather Duplessis Ellen Drive shows on, which is pretty cool. I like it because it's a time to think, catch up on the bits that you haven't done.
So 5 to 7 on ZB is when you move the needle most of the day. Am I getting that right?
Not on ZB. I may listen to ZB at that time, but I think making some calls on that day there as well, mopping up anything that you haven't caught up on there and taking some of what Andrew's saying and touch there. I think that's a great time there. So that's my favourite time of the day, 5 to 7.
Okay. What's your favourite time of the day? Where are you most effective?
When work's finished, I'm going to the gym.
So that's 1:30
a.m.
Vince McMahon works out between 2 and 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And when does he sleep though?
He doesn't. It's an adage that we've talked about before. You know, people who want to get rich actually have to sacrifice something. And one of the things is sleep.
And that's what I was talking about is everybody has 10, 20, 30 things they want to do. They only got time for 8 and they're going to do them properly. And actually, instead of doing 8 properly, it's sometimes better to do 4 to 6 things. Kids, your partner, the gym, things like that. That fills half the block of time. If you want to do meaningful things that are income generating, you actually have to say no to a lot of other things.
If you were to stop doing half of what you do, what would be the first thing that would break?
It's a really tough one. It might have to be some cricket. I love cricket. It's an amazing game. We've had some great interviews of us going over some really good teams there, but perhaps I could cut down on a few hours per week of cricket watching.
Yeah, the leisure time should be protected at all costs. Why do we work? Why do we build?
Well, he's doing exactly the opposite. He's taking his leisure time away.
That's because they have excessive cricket leisure.
Excessive leisure time. We, as humans above our minimal needs, should be enjoying things. So that we live in a first world country, we make some money, we should be designing our life to do things that we enjoy doing. If you have too much leisure time, then you fill it with crap, like watching cricket from 1993.
Sorry.
Oh, it's not crap. It's absolutely fantastic too. Rugby.
We were a very awful team in 1993, got to say. But the 1993 Ashes tour, that was when shooting wars had got their double attention.
So that's a wasting leisure time, right?
No, it's quality.
This is why your leisure time, in my opinion, can be scheduled and focused.
What's your leisure time?
Going to
Dungeons and Dragons.
A little bit of golf, the gym, reading books, not too many more hobbies than that. You put your kids and your partner in there, that's enough. There's plenty of people around that as
Skating, maintenance. There's some things that do build their connections with people.
yeah, they have 4 or 5 different pursuits and then they don't achieve their financial goals.
Why, if someone's watching this, if you're busy, why aren't you getting rich?
It's distraction. Busy is distraction away from the harder things.
No, if you're doing 16 hours a day working a business or whatever.
Because people work 8 to 10 hours, then they get stuck in traffic, and then they come home and do all the housework. They fill their spare time with Instagram and games, and that spare time could be put into other things, even 5 to 10 minutes of reading
Financial literature as well.
information that relates to your goals and pursuits. Like if somebody says, if they're passionate about something legal, have they read the law? Like Bitcoin, heaps of people are really passionate. They think crypto's going somewhere. Now there's a paper about Bitcoin. It's a white paper. It's actually not that long. So if you're passionate about crypto and you haven't read that paper, it's because you're wasting time on Instagram and
other shit, whatever you want to do.
and it's the same applies if you're working in a job where you're earning $100,000 a year, which most people aren't, and you want to get up to 120,000 or 150,000. It's easy. You have to upskill, and you upskill in the in-between times, 5, 10, 15 minutes.
It's interesting you say that, because the guy sitting next to you generally comes alive on the group chat around about 10 o'clock at night when you've gone to bed, that you at the moment are upskilling on AI. No one's asking you to do. No, tell us exactly what you're doing and why you're doing it to upskill on AI.
Sure, I'm concerned.
And before it, you've got enough money that you could probably retire today. So why are you doing AI?
Retiring today would be very boring. I've still got many years left, maybe only halfway through my life. AI is going to be a game changer. Whether it takes 5, 7 or 10 years, we're going to see a massive transformation. Many people that want to go, that are just starting year 9 at secondary school now, they're going to face some major challenges. They're going to be cannon fodder, going to low quality university courses, to be going into jobs where quite simply robots will start to take over and AI will mean that they're pretty much redundant. And it's going to be
You're getting ahead of the bell curve. What in particular are you looking at, and why do you think it's important for you to move?
I think it's important for me to stay ahead as a business owner, because I need to know the changes for my kids. I need to know the change for myself and how to use AI in business better. How can I be more productive? How can I think of it? How can I program it to be more like me? So by spending some time and learning the systems there, I think it's a good way to do it. Trying to teach it to learn. I always use what now? Only an hour and a half a day on programming.
Okay, so we've spoken about an hour a day on. And 24-hour day is 4%. So it's 6% of your day, every day, you are putting into AI. Let's face it, if it's KiwiSaver or something like that, you're trying to put 10% of your savings away every year. So
because I'm less interested in KiwiSaver, which this is not financial advice there, but KiwiSaver is actually for poor and lower wealth people as well. It's a scheme that's mass market, and it's what
I'm trying to say is that people try and save 10% of their wage or whatever it is, right, for their future. You're using 6% of your day for your future.
Yep, absolutely. And you should save at least 15% of your...
This one was AI, right? Is anyone can say, I want to learn about AI and put an hour a day into it if they wanted. It's free, basically free.
Yeah, but most people just do it on something like ChatGPT and use the basic subscription, hadn't exposing their personal data, which they've rather read in the terms and conditions that can be generically aggregated and found. And they think that that's good enough, and they're using AI. That's great, but it's...
So how will you use AI? What are you using?
Claude is fantastic.
I don't know what Claude is, so I'm an ignoramus on some of this stuff.
There are many AI programs there that have slightly different challenges and different problems there that you can solve, and you can use them to do it. You can use it for so many things. There'll be many people that are passionate about music, passionate about computer programming as well. So when I think about things like my 12-year-old son, Charlie, he's great. He loves his Roblox. He loves his Minecraft. He loves his Fortnite. He's thinking in the future there, what's going to happen as things go on there as well. It'd be pretty cool being a drone pilot to do that, but they don't teach how to do drone pilot stuff at school nor university, so he has to learn that himself, and he wants to make a bit of money. He knows that some hundreds of thousands of jobs out there now will not exist, and when he is old enough to add them. So he's trying to think, how do I get ahead? How can I use AI to program games so I can make some money for it now? So it's quite fun doing that and learning things, and then can spend some time with your kids to get them prepared as well, because it's a scary future for so many of them, where if they're behind the technology, they'll just be caught up in the sways of people there that are competing for jobs that don't use AI and technology skills. There'll be many people that displaced from this.
2 years ago, Andrew, I never used AI. Today, I probably use it for 90% of what I do.
Wow.
Realistically, though, it comes down to content. Is that the secret for busy people, to get their heads around this before the absolute boom comes? And that will make you rich?
If you put your head in the sand when the internet came around 20 years ago, it's not going to be serving you very well now. And it's the same with AI. You can download ChatGPT on your phone as an app and take photos of plants in your house and diagnose issues and get advice on how to fix brown leaves, or you can use ChatGPT and the other AI apps for day-to-day life and get yourself to a point where you're like, oh, this is actually quite good. No, this is helpful. And you start to realize that AI is part of your life, is supportive of getting rid of the shit jobs, getting rid of the uncertainty, helping you become, instead of average 100 IQ, you've got this calculator in your phone that knows everything about everything, and you become...
It's your electronic girlfriend.
Yeah, the potential of 150 IQ.
You've got 1,000 university professors at your fingertips there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and that's the application. So the speed of getting a degree, when I did it, was 3 years. And now I think if I wasn't using AI, I could probably make that a 3-month degree. And if I was using AI, I can probably teach 80% of the important stuff in 3 weeks from that 3-year degree.
Right.
And in terms of how much do I remember from that 3-year degree, like fuck all.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. And how much of it did it matter in the first 5 years of me being in business? Not that much.
Are you going to get rich getting a degree in the next 10 years?
I wouldn't be wasting time getting a degree.
Elon Musk has said that even those going into medical school now, the robots,
I saw that.
See that one? In 5 years' time, 5 years out, and then he just pictures, or maybe 7. But hey, whether it's 5 or 7 years' time, the robots will get the dexterity and the manipulation, which they don't have that fine motor control yet, but they're working on it, and particularly with this Tesla pivoting to robotics. That's pretty exciting to understand that. And even if he's an optimist, even if he's wrong, it probably is like that he or others will create them within 10 years' time. They'll be the most elite surgeons there. They won't be striking for pay or anything like that. It's going to be, the big challenge is going to be about power and electrical infrastructure to make sure that they've got enough juice to keep them flying. That's going to be a pretty bright new world, but it's a bit scary. And then the uptake of, do we respect robots, making sure that they know their place as well.
So let's be clear about what this is not. It's not a failure of effort, it's not a lack of intelligence, and it's not bad luck. It is the reality that earning well does not automatically create safety. Sometimes it just exposes how narrow the margin really is. If you're doing everything right and still feeling tight, that's not something to dismiss. There's something to face up to head on.